Ever noticed how some people just seem naturally content on their own? They don't fear solitude, in fact, they love it. They're the folks who find joy in their own company, and it turns out they often share a fascinating set of personality traits that make them stand out. If you're someone who truly enjoys spending time alone, you may just have a few, if not all, of these 10 uncommon traits that we're about to explore. These aren't just random quirks either. They're traits linked to emotional intelligence, independence, and even a surprising level of creativity. Hang tight, because these traits may reveal some incredible things about yourself you never even realized. Let's get into it. High self-awareness. People who enjoy their own company tend to have an unusual level of self-awareness. They're not just fine with being alone, they're at peace with it. That's because they've spent enough time reflecting to truly understand themselves, their thoughts, dreams, strengths, and yes, even their flaws. Think of them as self-reflection pros. When they're alone, they're not bored or lonely. They're usually engaged in deep thought, maybe even self-discovery. It's like they've unlocked a hidden level of introspection that most people only scratch the surface of. They don't run away from their thoughts. They sit with them, get to know them, and learn from them. Independent thinking. One thing about people who like being alone, they're not here to fit in. They think for themselves, challenge popular opinions, and are unafraid to go against the grain. Why? Because they're not constantly influenced by others. Instead, they give their minds the space to form unique perspectives. When you enjoy solitude, you become less susceptible to peer pressure. You make decisions based on what feels right for you, not because you're afraid of what others will think. And this independent streak? It often makes them bold, creative, and full of fresh ideas. Let's be real, they probably invented the hot takes only concept before it even became a trend. Heightened sense of creativity. Solitude can be a creativity booster. When people spend time alone, their brains aren't overwhelmed with outside noise and influence, which allows their imagination to thrive. Alone time becomes a space where ideas flow freely and without judgment. Studies have shown that people who enjoy solitude often score higher on creativity scales. They're the ones who come up with unique, out-of-the-box solutions and original ideas. So, if you're the type who's always daydreaming, inventing, or crafting in your downtime, congrats. You're putting that solo time to powerful use. Firm boundaries. Here's a rare quality. People who enjoy their own company have a firm set of boundaries. They know who they are, and they protect their peace fiercely. They're not afraid to say no, and they definitely don't feel guilty about it. For them, their alone time is sacred. They know that not every invitation, every friend, or every event is worth their time. This doesn't mean they're rude or antisocial. It simply means they value their energy. They're selective with who they let into their inner circle, which means that when they're with you, they genuinely want to be there. Inner confidence. Confidence isn't about being loud or showy. It's about being comfortable in your own skin. People who enjoy solitude often exude a quiet confidence that doesn't rely on others for validation. They don't need to show off on social media, seek constant approval, or bend over backward to be liked. When you're content being by yourself, you develop a deep self-assurance. You're your own cheerleader, your own best friend, and that's a rare trait in a world that's constantly seeking external validation. This inner confidence allows them to stand tall, even if no one's watching. And hey, if you're finding yourself nodding along or maybe even seeing yourself in some of these traits, take a second to subscribe and like this video. Subscribing means you won't miss out on more insights, self-discovery tips, and the latest on living your best, most independent life. And trust me, there's more coming your way. A deep appreciation for silence. Silence is golden, and people who love solitude know this better than anyone. For them, silence isn't empty, it's full of potential. They don't feel awkward without background noise or filler conversation. Instead, they find peace and clarity in the quiet moments. While some people might need constant chatter or music playing, those who enjoy being alone savor the silence. It allows them to recharge, think deeply, and gain insights they might miss with all the noise. And yes, this also means they have a bit of a superpower. They can sit comfortably in their own presence without feeling bored. Resilience. Life throws curveballs at all of us, but people who are comfortable with solitude tend to handle them with a bit more resilience. Spending time alone teaches them how to face challenges head-on without constantly relying on others for support. They know how to weather the storm, even if they're going at it solo. This doesn't mean they don't value help. It just means they know they can handle things on their own if needed. They've developed coping skills and self-sufficiency that allow them to bounce back from tough times. It's like they have an inner toolkit ready for whatever life throws their way. High emotional intelligence. People who enjoy solitude are often in touch with their emotions. Alone time gives them a chance to process their feelings without outside influence, making them more self-aware and emotionally intelligent. They know what makes them tick, what upsets them, and how to manage their emotions effectively. Because they spend time reflecting, they're often great at reading others too. Their empathy is strong, and they're usually excellent listeners. It's like their emotional antennae are finely tuned to pick up on both their own feelings and those of others. Sense of purpose. When you spend time alone, you have the space to think about your goals, values, and dreams. People who love solitude often have a clear sense of purpose because they've taken the time to figure out what really matters to them. They don't get swept up in trends or feel pressured to follow the crowd. Having a strong sense of purpose means they're focused on their path and make decisions that align with it. They're not easily swayed because they know what they want, and they're committed to pursuing it, no matter what others might think. Ability to self-entertain. And here we are, the final trait, the ability to self-entertain. People who enjoy solitude are masters at keeping themselves engaged, whether it's through reading, hobbies, or even daydreaming. They don't need anyone else to feel content or have a good time. They're often skilled at finding joy in the small things, whether it's a good book, a favorite song, or just watching clouds float by. This self-entertainment skill often leads them to pick up interesting hobbies, try new things, and generally live a fuller, more curious life. They're never bored because they're able to entertain themselves and find meaning, even in their alone time. We hope you enjoyed learning about the 10 uncommon traits of people who love being alone. If you agreed with some of these, you're probably part of a unique group of people who find true peace in their own company. Embrace it. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe for more videos like this one. We're all about uncovering insights that help you live your best, most independent life. And don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. It really helps us reach more awesome people just like you. Stay curious, stay true to yourself, and we'll see you in the next one.